Excuse me while I get a little bit educational on yo asses. Before starting this channel, I actually worked as part of a friend's channel doing Let's Plays. I edited and featured in a few episodes, but I mostly did my own thing, creating a couple of short reviews in the earliest episodes of Flash Cake. But the series I sank the most time into was called ROM.com. The show was comprised of edited Let's Play first impression ROM hacks, all done by me more so to learn how to edit rather than how to do Let's Plays. I won't say the videos were horrible, but seeing how I have some kind of flu for 90% of my life and my general uninfused attitude to most things doesn't make for the best commentary. The vast majority of ROM hacks I played for the show were glitchy or flat out didn't work, but the most stable and probably more enjoyable hacks were all based around Pokemon. So much so that 11 of the 20 episodes I made were all based around Pokemon hacks. While I had a good time during filming, I never really gave any of the hacks a fair chance. The only hack I played for more than an hour was called Pokemon Quartz, and having given it a fair shot in my spare time, I think I can see why. Pokemon Quartz, constructed around Pokemon Ruby and made by the ROM hacker Teh Baro, was probably one of the weirdest games I have played in a long time. The story is pretty much the same as the base game. The player in the game's professor, who coincidentally is also named Baro, moved to the corner region from Kanto. That being said, the game's creator is actually Spanish. The hack was translated to English, but frankly I think I'd get a better translation by using the Rosetta Stone. There are a lot of instances where punctuation is incorrect or words are flat out misspelt, but then you have entire sentences that make no sense. Mierda de Seva, Hidoge la gran puta, a los mangas de Ariales no son para modo. Oh no, mi bellissimo jargon Ming. I know! But of all the dialogue, nothing really compares to how your rival speaks. Choosing the boy makes your rival a sexually frustrated shy girl, making for some rather creeperish dialogue, but I'll take that any day over the male rival. Heck, the rival's opening line is, "What's a girl like you doing in a place like this?" Clearly it's his first time having a woman in his bedroom. He continues by going, "Oh, so you're Chica. Nice name, baby. My name's Joseph Akira, but you can call me Charm if you want." That wasn't exactly the word I was thinking on calling you, although you were part right. It does begin with C, and Joseph does not stop this personality. That is, unless you say the magic word, Baro. For the amount of work you put into a game, I can understand if you want to show off by putting your face somewhere, but Baro takes things to such a high level it's become the newest suicide hotspot. Sure, he already put himself in the game as a central character, but everyone, and I do mean everyone in the first town, will not stop talking about Baro. He's on TV, they talk about him. He's in trouble, they talk about him. He uses a machine in his lab, they talk about him. Mentioning Baro to your rival is the only thing that stops him perving on you, and even then he just goes on about reading all of Baro's books. Even after the first gym and you think you've got away from people talking about Baro, you are invited to meet the president of the Bachan Company. And who is the president of the Bachan Company? It's not Baro, it's Baro's miniature clone. Do I need to put a joke here? Or will my inability to comprehend the situation be sufficient? And I haven't even discussed the Pokemon yet. The game features an entirely original Pokedex supposedly comprised of over 200 species. After Baro gets in trouble, you choose between your standard 3 starters, but due to lack of imagination, I guess, your choices are a grass-type dinosaur egg, a fire-type dinosaur egg, and a water-type dinosaur egg. My god, Sophie's got nothing on this shit. So after making your, for lack of a better word, choice, you have to fight this thing called Seva. Things don't get much better from here. There are some okay Pokemon like Rayburai and Tigat, but then you have things like this. Or this. And God prepare your soul for things like this. I have a hard time forming sentences clearly, so I'm glad these Pokemon exist. It's a lot easier to edit your voice when you're speechless. But to me, those aren't the worst things. Ever wanted a Pokemon that looks like a straight-up penis? No, of course you haven't, but here it is, introducing Kovolts. But Kovolts isn't the Pokemon that broke me, no. Babos broke me. But what's Babos, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. It's a bear with big floppy bitch tits! I mean, what the hell am I looking at? Where are its legs? How can its arms bend like that? Does its antenna mean it's a rejected Teletubby? Who was tasked with modeling this guy's tits? How the fuck does it have the ability Cute Charm? A Pokemon like that doesn't need an ability, it needs euthanasia. By the way, you know how I said that all 200 plus Pokemon are completely original? Well, the names and sprites are original, but in reality, they're just clones of existing Pokemon. Some Pokemon are obvious, like Larvalai being Wurmple and Rayburai being Tailo, but then you have some Pokemon that are less obvious, like Babos actually being a Skitty. The resemblance is uncanny. But reskinning the Pokemon wasn't the laziest thing to appear in this game. You know how in the first game all the towns were named after colour shades like Fuchsia and Cerulean? Well, the naming convention here is a bit more basic. Visiting the Corner region grants you access to great places like Purple City, Greenyville, and, my personal favourite, the Black Village. I also found a person who collects profiles of trainers. These guys are actually in the base game of Pokemon Ruby. They give you a selection of words and ask you to make a phrase, but if you're like me and enjoy abusing any and all power you're given, you can make some really messed up scripts. First I told him I was a confused girl and just wanted some hoo-ha, but after some contemplation I decided to scratch that and just tell him the truth. I am hungry for heroin. Apparently anyone hearing that would be captivated by me. So if you're having any indecisions about this game, I would say go for it. Make a drinking game out of it, play it with friends who haven't seen anything about it, and just have a good time with how weird it is. It's something you need to experience. I showed you a very limited scope of the game. I obscured a lot of fake Pokemon, and even in my own playthrough, I didn't even enter the second gym. I made the mistake of entering a dark cave in Golden Island, and I can't seem to get out because I fell through the floor, and I can't find my way out because I don't have the HM Flash yet, so in the end, I just had to use an escape rope. Is this heaven? It's the afterlife?